What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Queen as we continue through A Night at the Opera, 1975. Thank you again to Michaela. And indeed, I'm trying to do these guys a little more regularly because they are such a big band and I know they have a large catalog, so we'll keep it rolling. The next tune is called The Prophet Song. So, okay, a prophet, someone who supposedly has a divine understanding, someone who is a conduit for events which will unfold and an understanding of what should or shouldn't be done. Now, obviously, this is an inherently religious or like spiritual type of term, but it is used, of course, in a more, let's say, secular, like popular or colloquial way to refer to people who are prophetic, people who can see trends or events coming before they arrive. And sometimes it's the kind of label that's applied retrospectively. It's like, oh, they were talking about that. No one listened, but they were prophetic. So, yeah, I don't quite know what to make of it. If I had to guess, I suppose my hypothesis is that it is more a traditional or original usage of the word, but perhaps, taken out of the Bronze Age, if you will, and up into modern times. Either way, I will try to follow what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is Queen. The song is The Prophet Song, and it's from their 1975 album, A Night at the Opera.
The fires of hell will take you. Send death away to you. Ah, people, can you hear me? now I know, 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 now I know. Listen to the wise, listen to the wise, listen to the wise, listen to the wise man. Listen to the wise man. La 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 Listen, man, man, listen, man, man, listen to the man, man.
How do you even comment after that? So, wow. It's funny. I've never heard that before, but that is essentially what I thought of Queen, like, before I started this deep dive. Meaning, I knew a couple of their tunes, and, Bohemian Rhapsody better than any of the others, and that one has this crazy, like, it's like a sonic story with different parts, with really contrasting sections, and Freddie's like incredible vocals, which have a lot of like fire and charisma and crazy vocal layering, and all that's happening here, but it's a very different tune than Bohemian Rhapsody, not only because I feel like the subject matter, which I did not catch all the lyrics clearly, but definitely phrases, referring to like a wise man, which is someone who's prophetic, and also seemingly a sense of like an apocalyptic vision, maybe, like more on that in a moment. But the journey of that tune was crazy, and I don't even know, like, there's definitely some wicked electric guitar in there, but there's also, I think, an acoustic guitar, and then those plucked, like, I don't know, pizzicato sort of moments or melodic touches. I don't know if that's an acoustic guitar. I was like, is that a mandolin? Like, what is that? So yeah, I don't even know the instrumentation of this one. Some crazy drum rolls and, on the ride cymbal, all the different elements really did stand out to me. And I suppose the guitar as much as anything else, but Freddie's voice right there with it. And then that middle section, I mean, that's the real moment of this tune where they go fully a cappella, and there's like rounds, like, and there was a moment where it was like around, and it's like, around where you like row your boat is a good example, where like one line starts and then another person starts a little bit behind it, so they're both going through the same melody and the same rhythm, but they're like offset, and you could do it for like more and more voices. So it was like a round, like, polyphony, but then they'd also go into harmony, and there'd be moments where Freddie was standing out, and then where they were like a full choral type vocal. And yeah, obviously it was, repeating the same words and phrases again and again and again, and it felt almost like psychedelic, but there was no like guitar or like, trippy sonic elements. It was literally just their voices, but I felt like I was in this like rich vocal lather to the point where like I couldn't see outside of it. It was a really like psychedelic experience just with their vocal, not just performance, but it's like the arrangement / composition in that a cappella section. Crazy. And then suddenly it just goes back into being this, hard-edged classic rock type tune. So yeah, the journey of this one is crazy. As I said, I really don't know what's happening thematically, but it did seem like normative or prescriptive, like what you should do, listen to the wise man, and something about like heeding the words, of course, like a prophet, do you heed what they say? Do you do what they are suggesting? And there's like maybe a storm coming or something, or are they a false prophet? It felt like there was maybe playing with that concept a bit, but yeah, I didn't get enough to have a sense of what's happening thematically in any clear picture on this first listen. Obviously, I am curious to hear what people have to say or any insights you may have, but definitely one I need to really re-listen to and let wash over me. But yeah, like, that was an incredible tune, probably my favorite on the album so far, and as I said, like, an entirely new experience, and yet this is the kind of creativity and, I don't know, compositional eccentricity that I had a sense Queen was all about going into this deep dive. And fair to say, some of the tracks on this album so far have surprised me, like, oh, this is different from what I thought Queen was, and not that I am at all surprised that they have some sonic and musical diversity, of course, but yeah, this one was a real journey, and yet is sort of what I thought I was getting myself into. So once again, big thank you to Michaela. Do let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you next time. Peace.